Hello. So first of all, I apologize for the audio if it's kind of bad because I'm just now getting back into video editing or doing anything with camera or YouTube related. In several years, I don't even know when the last time I updated a video, but anywho, to the point. I'm back. We're doing videos, talking about hardware and gaming stuff. It is going to be good. Thank you for checking out the video. So this is going to be 3 or 4 segments. My history with it, which will be brief, the review of the base product, the modifications I did, and the overall review and what you can do. Also, you're probably noticing this beautiful Chun-Li stick back here. That will be a later video because I have some like special mods, Korean style. Shut up, phone. No one cares about you. So basically, the Razer Atrox. So back in 2014, 15, I saw a video by Elias Tech Tips on the Xbox 360 version. This is the first real experience I ever saw just killed this real quick. I'm so unprofessional. What is this, 2010? Okay, so I saw the video. This was the first time I ever saw like an actual professional grade arcade stick, and I was like, oh, and fell in love. I wanted it. I love the features, the modification stuff, all the great stuff. Up to that point, I knew nothing about arcade sticks. I was aware of them. I was a huge fan of actual arcade places, like at the malls and stuff, and playing games. But I was never good at Street Fighter. I was great at Marvel vs. Capcom for the Dreamcast, and that was amazing, but I didn't have a stick for it. So it's like, shoot. But what I really wanted to do, anywho, point was, it was that video I got introduced to actual fight sticks. Quality fight sticks that made me want to get one and try it out and be like, oh yeah, this is what I want. You know, and from there I went and researched and found out that they had Xbox One version. Didn't really care about it being Xbox One, but it was one of those, oh hey, here's the new generation. This would probably be better for me than the 360 version because I didn't own a 360. The Xbox One would give me a longer lifespan and whatever, and then I did a bunch of research and found out that I can do stuff to mod it and make it work with stuff, which we'll get into that later. But basically, this began my love for arcade sticks, and I have currently 3. There's like 2 to 3 more I want to pick up, and after that I'll be kind of done for the time being until the PS5 and Xbox Scarlet comes out, and wherever sticks that come out for those. Because right now we're just kind of at okay, Mad Catz is gone, which kind of sucks, because they had good sticks, and computer, like, gaming mice, like, they had the best mice. The Rat 7. Mine quit working after 7 years of use. God, I wish it was still working. It was amazing. Anywho, so that was my brief history. So, onto the actual stick, which I played with the PS5 version, 4 version, the Pantera version, which is great. The only key difference between the Atrox version and the Pantera version is you can't change out the artwork without ripping the artwork off the Pantera version. Also, like the center pieces where you have the touchpad and the L3 and R3 buttons, which are pretty good and a little bit more control. I'm going to move this down. No, you can do it. You can do it. There we go. Yeah, sorry, that's a terrible view. Let me turn on the overlight. That's a little bit better. Ignore my computer. Sorry, I'm not being... Let's see. So, case, very stable. Had this since like mid 2015, and it's like mid 2019 now. And other than just a little bit of scratching along the sides and whatever, and maybe a few nicks, like even the bottom is like pristine. Like just other than what I did to the case itself for modifications, this has been a fantastic case. It has just held out, no damages, no problems. I really honestly feel like this is going to last me probably at least another 10 to 20 years with just proper care and not like beating people up with it or throwing on the ground, granted. But as far as just a quality case that you can do stuff with and have it last you, this is just definitely yes. As long as it's like $230 or less. I feel like $200 or less is better. I actually scored this for $170 on sale on Amazon way back in the day. It's like, free shipping, free Prime, get this now. It's like, yes. So as far as just a good base case, I highly recommend it. As for the original PCB in here, I took that out after like 2 months and just gave it to a friend. So I still have the PCB here for the lock switch and the home button, and I kept the original buttons and the sandwall stick, which fantastic parts. None of them broke, which is relevant. Might do a video later on the Chung-Li stick back here, over there, because all the sandwall parts in that broke when I took them out, but I recently got them, and that's the story you'll hear in a later video. So the housing, great. Comes with standard sandwall parts. These are not the parts. Like it had a sandwall stick, all black buttons, 2 white buttons on the side. So yes, definitely a must buy. Like if you want a quality stick, definitely yes. I also like how tall it is. Like it's a good feel. It stays in your lap. It's a good weight. It's like 7 to 10 pounds. Highly recommended. Not the original artwork. My artwork. So, as for modifications that I have done, the sandwall, like the original stick and buttons, are still working. In fact, I moved these into a SNES 30 wireless 8-bit DOE arcade stick. I'll do a video on that later too, which once you update the firmware is a really good stick for the Nintendo Switch or just using on your PC. Like, I do recommend it after you switch out like the guts, you know, this like the joystick and the buttons, but also after you update it, you can connect it with a wired cable and it works great that way. Won't use it for competition, but it is a good stick. Review will have more details later. So as for the modifications, I replaced the stick with a Shimizu LS56, if I remember correctly. Like, it's way more clicky. It's a better feel. It's like, I play a lot of shmups. Actually, I have this, we'll jump inside real quick. So, I had the Brooks, or sorry, wrong side. Boop, there we go. The Brooks Brothers retro board, which allows me to play almost all my retro consoles, like Saturn, Dreamcast, PS1, PS2, the original Xbox, PC Engine, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, GameCube if I really wanted to. I don't have any of those systems, but I could play them. Probably the biggest thing is Saturn for me now, and PC Engine for shmups, because it's great. Also, Street Fighter is awesome. Like Street Fighter versus X-Men, love it. I replaced all the wires. Boop. There we go. I replaced all the buttons with Shimizu's, and the stick. Like, this is just for like my old stuff. I also have Shimizu buttons for the starts. So, also, I'll get back here in a moment. Key important thing is right under here is I have a little wire harness connected to a cheap knockoff, like $6 Sega Genesis pad that I got off of Amazon. Like, I just wired all the traces, and I have this little adapter that I just use a Sega Genesis controller extender cable to just plug in. I made a little notch right here, so it just slips through when I close the lid, and I just take this, plug into the Brooks board, and I have this plugged in to either the Sega Genesis as a 6-button controller or the Atari 2600. So, like, those are the two systems the Brooks board doesn't support, So I just use this in order to bypass it and play them. The reason I don't keep this plugged in all the time is if you're playing Dreamcast and you hit like forward down or something and hit any of the face buttons, it triggers a Dreamcast reset, which is obnoxious. So otherwise, works very safe, very simple, very easy, just have to do soldering stuff. But it basically just $10 allowed me to add Atari 2600 and Dreamcast, which is great. I'll put that back in later along with this. But as far as the insides, you know, I actually added a little switch for turbo, like flip it on, hit a button, flip it off. I now have turbo for my shmups. So that's the inside. Also, quick release link. You have to get a special one for your Submitsu because they are slightly different. It's just the shaft that goes inside, the actual ball top part, the link itself. This is universal. So this is a standard JLF. Works perfectly fine. Like, it's the bottom pieces that are different. The top pieces are universal, so you can literally just use any of these in exchange with each other. Sorry for speaking fast. I've had coffee and I just want to get through this kind of whatever. I like the Submitsus. As far as the side, you know, Submitsu white buttons, same color. You have this little switch I stole from Power Supply, which originally I had a PS360 Plus board in here, and I was using this as a power switch to power cycle the PCB board when it wasn't reading correctly. Well, now I use this as a flip switch between the D-pad and left stick. So if I'm playing something, I just be like, boop, left stick. I can now play like Axiom Verge or any other little platformer game that doesn't work with the D-pad. Or switch back to D-pad, which is great. So, boop. Finally, there we go. I replaced the original connector with a Cat 5 RJ45 connector because more compatibility allows me to use stuff. And I wasn't really concerned with playing PS3 or Xbox 360. I never got really into those consoles. Not that they're bad. I just didn't get into them. I also added 2 more buttons back here for L3 and R3 for the few games that I needed them, say, on the PC, because this works very well on the computer. I have several cables. Actually, where did I put them? Oh, here we go. This is actually the original braided cable that came with it. I just cut the end off and made it an RJ45 connector with, you know, just made it myself. As you can see, like you probably can't see because it's bad video, there is no fraying, there is no damage. This cable is 5 years old and it is still in pristine condition. Like, the only damage is from where I trimmed it off, and when I cut it, I just took a flame and melted the end of the fabric and put it in here with some super glue. You know, it's just me hot glue and got it all set up, but it works very well, pristine. I'm very happy with it. So, as far as a stick for tournament use or home use or whatever, just variety of whatever you want, this gets an A+. Like, A+ all the way. Like, also, one other modification I made is the home button is the home button, and the lock switch, I had to go in and solder 2 wires, one before and one after the switch, to make this the ground. And I have the wire going down to home, my L3, R3, and my circle select over here, so when I lock it, all 5 of these buttons are locked out, as you would know if you're in tournaments or familiar with the process. So, it took a little bit of work, but overall, just the base product, I highly recommend. Granted, there was that one guy in a tournament a while back that the PCB died mid-tournament on him. So, I don't know, I can't test to the quality of the PCB, but I can say for the case itself, I highly recommend. The Pantera version for For the PS4, I can highly recommend. I have a friend who has it. He loves it. It's great in every way. The only downside is you literally have to, like, the artwork is glued down, so you have to get a heat gun and just slowly peel it off. And it's very tedious and annoying. And you're almost guaranteed to break the acrylic. So you're going to have to buy a new faceplate, screws, and all kinds of stuff. But it's one of those, it's a great stick. I hope this was informative. I hope you appreciate it. I'm sorry for the sound quality and just kind of being all over the place. I'm just trying to get back into doing videos again. It's been a while, and you know, please click like, subscribe, and there will be more videos, and I'm going to just do the best I can, just start making videos, get them out there, and just improve as I go. And you know, this is what I want to do. I want to be a part of the community and talk and have fun. Shmups, retro games. I have tons of retro consoles. I want to start doing videos on retro consoles through original hardware because it's awesome. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy.